All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the second race in the 2025 Driveway Saturday Summer Series. So this is the men's Category 3-4 race, and as we jump into the video here, we just started lap number 5. We're about 9.5 minutes into the race because I forgot to start my GoPro, so we're jumping in about 10 minutes into the race. We were doing the speed loop course today, so it's like a 1.1 mile kind of oval-shaped course. It's fast, it's fun. I hadn't been to Driveway in a while. I missed about a month of racing while traveling this summer, so it was really good to be back out here yesterday, racing with everybody, and I wanted to do a quick video on this one with a little bit of commentary because this race is going to give us an example of a successful breakaway. Spoiler alert, but the race is going to be taken by a two-man breakaway. Top step on the podium goes to Gerardo Perez from Team Night Owls. Congrats, man. And then with him in that two-man breakaway was Rolando Suarez from Team ATP, who takes second place. The peloton finishes like 10 seconds down. Kind of had them in sight at the end there. But a clear victory for the two-man break, and then I think the third step on the podium is taken by Edward Nunez, also from Team ATP. So that's how this one's going to shape up. The real good action starts about a little over 9 minutes into the video. So I'm going to check out for a little bit and then come back when we can talk a little bit about tactics and rolling attacks and the teamwork and stuff like that. So for now, enjoy the video. Okay, as we are coming under the banner and approaching the corkscrew here, I am riding on Gerardo's wheel, so number 373 right in front of me. That's your eventual race winner. And he's going to take this opportunity to launch the first of what become a series of attacks. I counted 7. Okay, 7 attacks that he's going to launch over the course of the next couple laps here. Here's attack number 1. You know, the first big attack of the race is not usually like the most threatening one. That's not typically like the one that's going to succeed. So I would typically be conservative about chasing it. But this looked quite dangerous to me because if you saw who got up the road here, so we had Gerardo, who was on the podium last week. He initiated it. And we've got all of Team ATP up here. All 3 riders from Team ATP are all up here. The 5th rider there from Texas Development Squad, I think, is Oscar Caraway. And so I stood up and sprinted across to get with this group. And it's 6 of us right now who have a little, obviously not a huge gap, but we've got a little bit of a gap, to the group behind us. So, like I said, normally I wouldn't necessarily like burn a match so early in the race to sprint across, just because it usually takes a while before a breakaway sticks, if it's going to stick at all. But looking up the road, knowing Gerardo's really strong, seeing that an entire team is up here who obviously have strong incentive to work together, and then one additional rider, like this looked to me like a potential race winning move from very early in the race. I think less than 20 minutes in so far. So I did the work to get across. As we're still pace lining right now, we do still have a gap. It turns out this breakaway only lasts for about a lap before we get caught the second time going up the corkscrew. But watch what happens as soon as we get on the far side of that corkscrew. I think it's right about now that I look back and see that we're caught, basically. So I did come through prepared to do a pull, realize that we're caught. I kind of pull over to the left and chill out a little bit. But I think, here we go, attack number 2. So there goes Gerardo again. He didn't hesitate. He launches over the top again, and we've got the start of the second attack. It looks like the video might have lagged for a second there. But here we go, and it's on. And this basically kicks off a series of like successive attacks. And like I said a minute ago, there's going to be 7 of these. And if you start counting like number 3, number 4 as they come, it's coming about like every 60 seconds or so. So there's not a lot of recovery in between Gerardo going off the front, several people responding quickly to get with the move or close the gap and chase it down. A very brief, recovery. Looks like we're in a little bit of a recovery right now. And then as soon as we come out the other side of the turn, it's going to be on again. So I think we've had 5 attacks already, and you can just see number 6 getting started up there. Again, Gerardo was the protagonist throughout this whole thing, constantly launching. I'm kind of like mid-pack right now, but I think we're going to see in a second here, there's going to be like a clear separation of 2 groups, with like one group a little bit up the road. Let's see if we get there on the other side of the turn. No, you know what? I'm early. That comes in another minute. All right, we'll just watch for a second. All right, this is where I meant to come in earlier. So you can see that there's now a separation, and it looks like there's about a half dozen riders up the road, and this is looking dangerous. I start moving up, and I'm looking for a wheel because I don't want to bridge by myself. I see number 116 there from Texas A&M is Grant Shackelford. He launches. He's trying to bridge. A rider from ATP has gone with him. Looks like Colby from Violet Crown has jumped in there. So this is working out well for me. I add some watts, get into Colby's wheel, and the 4 of us are kind of bridging up to this group that was threatening to get away. I don't think I look behind me here. I guess the rest of the peloton is probably on my wheel because the group does come back together. And then there would be a few minutes of a détente, a little bit of a chilling out before we're going to see the fateful attack number 7. And that is it right there. So Gerardo kind of just rolled off the front. Rolando jumps up and shoots across to join him. You can see that I'm, right here on the front. I think I got some people to the right of me, but I'm clearly in position to go with this if I want to. My thinking at this point has been like there's been 5 or 6 attacks that didn't stick. They all got pulled back, and I'm not sure that I really want to burn a match to go close this down. If we're not going to stay away. I'll also tell you that part of my calculus here is that I'm riding independently. Like I'm not on a team here, and there are several teams that are not represented in that breakaway. Okay, obviously Night Owls isn't going to chase, and ATP's not going to chase because they both have a guy up the road. But there's several other teams here that have at least a couple people in the race. And if you want to set it up for your sprinter or your designated team leader or something like that, my thinking is you got to go up front and do the work and reel this in. So looking at that video there where I clearly had a clear line of sight to those guys as they started to pull away, maybe some people would criticize me and say, Michael, that was your job there to close that down. Maybe so. I think my response would be, if you've got a team and you've got numbers, like you go close it down. It's not, as an independent or unaffiliated rider or whatever. I don't know why I should work to set up the other team. So partly thinking, it's the other team's responsibility to chase. Partly thinking I've seen this story, before several times already. It's only 2 guys. That wasn't like 4 or 5 or 6 guys, pulling away. It was only 2 guys pulling away. Frankly, I thought we would catch them. I thought that we would close them down. And so I was, slow to react, or I didn't react. And I waited until, what you see happening right now, which is that we've got a little bit of momentum and we've picked up the chase. But, bike racing is 1,000 little tactical decisions you make and decisions that other people make. And sometimes you benefit from, what other people decide to do, and other times you don't. What we can see happening right now is ATP has come to the front basically to disrupt the chase and slow things down. And they are effective. Like we're not working that hard right now. Looks like maybe that's James Cordero up there from Driveway Devo. He recognizes, the blocking that's going on. So he's come up. I do see the VC rider, sprinting up the right-hand side there, looking like maybe he's trying to bridge across. So there were a couple efforts to put in a big pull and try to get us going again. But from this point forward, the most effective team riding comes from the guys right in front of me, ATP, who stay at or near the front the whole time. Never on the front, but near the front. They are quick to respond to every attempt to bridge or attack across, and they're basically always in position to continuously disrupt this chase. So I don't know that if we would have caught them. I'm not saying that we necessarily would have caught them without ATP's disruption. Maybe the peloton never brings it back anyway. Maybe the 2 riders stay away. But certainly, like, this is an illustration of effective teamwork from one of the few teams that had a few guys in the race today. That was Sam Jones, number 27 from Faction there, recognizing the danger and trying not to, leave it too late. So he's sprinted ahead to try to go bridge across. Again, ATP, quick to respond, quick to cover. You can see that he doesn't come through. He doesn't take a pull to help Sam, go chase down that breakaway. But he's in his wheel. I'm trying to close it down. I wanted to give Sam some support here. I didn't want to, basically realizing that maybe I should have gone with that group of two. Want to do a little bit of work, so gave a little bit of a pull. Here comes James, here comes Oscar, here comes the other ATP rider, so trying to rebuild some momentum and get a chase going. And you can just see the two at the top of the frame there. So we had him in sight, so it's not more than like 10 seconds on the road. Must have been a huge effort for those two guys to stay away, so well done to them.
You go to the front.
All right, so you heard some of the discussion going on in the group there. So some people starting to get a little bit frustrated. We've seen some like hand signals and stuff like that, trying to encourage everybody to take turns, come through, work together. I contributed my perspective there. It's basically like I said earlier. If you have numbers and you want to win, this is where the teamwork comes into play in cycling. This is what makes it a team sport. You got to go to the front and put in the work and try to bring it back. There are a lot of people here, racing unaffiliated like myself, and it can be pretty, which basically means you're just riding for yourself. It can be pretty hard, for a group of guys who are not on the same team to coordinate a chase. If you're in the breakaway, that's different. 6 guys all from different teams riding the breakaway together. have a clear incentive to work together until the last 1 or 2 kilometers, right? But if we see like a lot of different jerseys, up here at the front, no teammates here, no teammates in what I can see of the video right now at the front. It's tough for that group to find incentives to work together to chase, particularly if you know that there's at least a couple teams who have 2-3 riders that they haven't burned up yet on the front. So that's kind of where I think the chasing group let it get away from us today. Just my perspective. I think that's going to be it for me and the commentary. I'm going to let the video run through. I kind of finished like mid-pack. Actually, I took 9th place in this race, and towards the back of the front group of the pack sprint. So we'll let it run from here. You just saw us go under the banner for the last time. Heard the bell ringing for the last lap. Congrats to the 3 guys who made it to the podium. Thanks everybody for another fun race, and see you at the next one. Oh yeah, one more thing. I cut the GPX file too early. Sorry, I had one big Wahoo file for both this race, the 3-4 race, and then the P123 that came after it. And so when I went to cut the GPX file for this video, I evidently cut it 1 lap short. So we're missing the power and speed data on this lap. Sorry about that, but hopefully the video is enough. All right, thanks.